All right, let's get real for a second. Is it actually worth it to advertise on the display network? Hey guys, Silvio Perez here from Ad Conversion, and in today's video, I'm gonna talk about whether or not you should advertise on the display network. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with what the display network is, maybe you've never heard of that before, all the display network is, it's a conglomerate of over 2 million websites that are part of the Google AdSense program, where your ads can be seen on websites, mobile apps, and video content in the form of banner advertising. I'm gonna go ahead and show you a really quick live example of a display ad.
Here's a live example of display ads for those of you guys that are not really familiar with the display network. Here's an example of display ads on weather.com. So you can see this Tropicana ad right in front of me. This is an ad from the display network. You see on the top right hand screen, there's like a little triangle with an eye. If you click on that, you see it says ad closed by Google. So you know this is a display ad. And then you can also see on the side here, there's another display ad. So I'm sure you've seen this. These are all those banner ads that you see on the sides of websites and also on mobile applications and also on video content as well.
Now, the short answer, in my opinion, is you should at least try the display network. I think there's just too much potential benefit to the display network to not at least give it a shot. Now, for those of you who are thinking, I never click those ads, those are spammy banner ads, how could they possibly work? I want to show you a real example of a personal injury attorney account that I'm managing. And if you're not familiar, personal injury in the legal space has some of the highest keyword costs out there in terms of industries on Google Ads. And I want to show you a real example of the search cost per lead that I was able to generate for them versus the display cost per lead with the display network. Take a look at this example here of the average search cost per lead I was able to generate for this personal injury attorney account. And you can see it's about $272, which isn't too bad when you consider the average cost per click was about 60 something. Now, take a look at this example of the display cost per lead. $75. So you can see there's some pretty tremendous potential benefits with the display network. Now, without further ado, I want to get into the 2 reasons why I think you should really hop into the display network if you've kind of been on the fence. Now, the first reason I think you should try display is cost. With the display network, you can get so much more engagement for such less cost. And the reason being is there's just so much inventory space out there for you to place your ads on, so you can get costs extremely affordable. Now, I want to show you an example of that same account, the personal injury attorney that I'm managing, of their average search cost per click versus their average display cost per click. Now, keep in mind, this is the same personal injury attorney account in the legal space, which has very expensive keywords. Now, I have my notes here so I don't mess up the numbers, but you can see, according to this example, if you look here in this graph, the average search cost per click is $68.39 for this personal injury account. Now, the average display cost per click is $1.13. This is in the legal space, guys. This is $1.13 average cost per click on the display network to get in front of the same people that you're paying $68.39 on average on the search network. So you can see there's huge benefits to using display and huge advantages in terms of cost. Now, the second and final reason I think you should try the display network is reach. Now, with the display network, with that huge inventory space available, there's pretty much infinite potential for you in terms of scalability. So if you can really find a segment of targeting that works, a campaign that works on the display network, your ability to scale that campaign is really high. You have a lot of potential in terms of placements available and the amount of reach of people you can engage with on display network. Display network as well is especially helpful for campaigns that have limited targeting. So if you're like a local business and it's very easy for your search campaign to max out and to scale out in terms of the amount of people that you can serve ads to within your local area, you can really get a lot more scale and reach with a display campaign. So that's really the second reason I love display personally, is the amount of reach and potential that I have. Because if I can get a campaign to work on the display network, I know I can scale that campaign pretty far because of the amount of reach I have on display. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope you got some value from this, and I invite you to try the display network, give it a shot. Just 2 strategies to kind of throw at you really quickly that have really worked for me is remarketing. That's definitely a go-to if your industry allows it. And then the second one is custom intent campaigns on display network, also works really well to just kind of get started for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe. I create content every week on Google Advertising, and if in the case that you want to stay notified and stay connected with me, feel free to hop on my mailing list. You'll find that in the description box down below, and you'll be first to be notified of any future content that I upload, or of any future tips or tricks that I come across with my own accounts. I love to share that through my email newsletter. So thanks so much. Speak soon. Take care.